Start with the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most grateful. Dear students of class second year, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome you in Pakistan International School Taif's virtual learning system. Dear students, hope you are doing well and you are fit and fine and working with your studies hard. And you know that if you will work hard, you will achieve your goal. So keep your hard working. Dear students, today we have English lecture number 25. This is grade second years, unit 6. And today we have last reading selection of unit 6. And that is reading selection 6.3, Once Upon a Time. This is a poem, dear students, by Gabriel Ukara, Once Upon a Time. Please open page number 263 of your English textbook. And here's your teacher, Sarfraz Nadeem. Dear students, as you are well aware that this is our last reading selection of Unit 6. And this is last lecture of your book. Inshallah, the coming lecture will be about the paper pattern and English grammar section, which we have to complete it. Read the passage and find out what kind of mistakes are there. So that would be our coming lecture, and that would be the last lecture. So this is our second last lecture, lecture number 25. And as I told you that the English notes are available at accounts office. They are the comprehensive notes, all MCQs, question answers, summaries, themes, central idea of the poems, and report writing, precis writing, essay writing, and they all are present in the notes. So you can contact to school's account office and you will get your notes. So let's start today's lesson. This is reading selection 6.3 about Once Upon a Time. Rereading, dear students, about the unit 6.3 Once Upon a Time. Here we have the poet in this poem draws a comparison between the past and the present. People in the past were sincere and selfless. They had a great regard for one another, but the people of the present are selfish and insincere. They give a smile, but their smile is without sincerity. The poet loves the people of past. This is a dear students pre-reading. In pre-reading view, we are able to get the meaning that the past people were very good. They were loyal, sincere, and they had great love for each other, one another. But in comparison today, the people, they are not sincere today. They don't have a great smile. If they have the smile, that is for just to open mouth and show the teeth. But in the past, if the people had a smile, it smiled with the sincerity and with the soul of the heart, with the core of the heart. But today they only have the show, and that's why the poet uh, liked past people or loves the past people. So let's start what we have in the lesson on page number 263. First, we will look over here about the poet. Uh, Gabriel Okara was born in Western Nigeria in 1921. Okara may be described as a highly original poet, uninfluenced by other poets. In 1979, he was awarded the Commonwealth Poetry Prize. Okara shows a concern regarding what happens when the ancient of Africa is faced with the onslaught of Western culture. So this is a introduction about the poet Gabriel Ukara, who was born in Western Nigeria in 1921, and then he was awarded with the Commonwealth Prize in 1979 as well. So he's the writer of the poet. So let's start what he is writing, or what he writes, or what he says in our poem. Pages preview we have, dear students, we have two pages about the lesson 263 and 264. Both pages are in front of you. You can see that here we have in the picture a man and a boy, and I think they are kind of discussion they have. Might be a father and son is over here, and they have the discussion about kind of advice or whatever. So this is all about, and here we have the poem, and I think the four stanzas are over on page number 263, and three are over here on 264, and then we have the about the poem as well. We have already learned. So let's start one by one the stanza, dear students, about the poem. And inshallah, I will try to explain each stanza before you, what the each and what the every stanza is telling us something about the poem. Because if you will learn it very well, then it will be easy for you in exam to handle the question answers of this poem or a theme or central idea. We have the stanza number one, dear student. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes, search behind my shadow. This is the stanza number one, dear students. And I will again read for you. Once upon a time, son means a father is going to tell a son that once upon a time they used to laugh with their hearts, means the people used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes, search behind my shadow. So what's the explanation over here, dear students, about the stanza number one? The first line suggests that this poem is going to be based on a story, is a kind of story or a fairy tale. The speaker is addressing his son, so this could well be a father beginning to explain how things used to be, how people they used to laugh with their hearts and eyes back in the past. In contrast, nowadays, laughter is more of a show of teeth, and their eyes are cold and looking for something other than the real person. So already the present is being judged by the past. And from what we can gather from these first six lines, the speaker prefers the attitudes of the people from the past. There is the feeling that negative change is here. So, dear students, here the father is telling the son that in the past, people were used to love with their hearts and with their eyes, but now they only love with their teeth, and they have another manifesto, or they have another goal or mean to laugh today. But in the past, the people were laughing with the soul, with the heart, but now they are not doing that. If they are even laughing just to show the teeth, or they are searching something else. It is the first stanza. Now here we have stanza number two, dear students. There was a time, indeed, they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hand search my empty pockets. Great lesson, dear students, great lesson. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. An explanation, dear students. The art of shaking hands has also changed. In the past, a greeting was genuine. A person welcomed for who they were. But nowadays, people shake hands with one eye on your status, your financial status. People are no longer genuinely warm towards others. People are on the Mac wanting to get something from you. Dear students, it's a fact, I think, in my point of view, that today we don't have such kind of warmness, such kind of love and affection with each other. Today we are just supposed to only with words that we have to talk with each other, or if we have any kind of issue, then we are discussing. Otherwise, we don't have a time to discuss to have a meeting. So this is about the stanza number 2, that in the stanza number 2, it is that, and the poet tells the son that the people in the past were sincere with one another. They used to shake hands with warmth and the enthusiasm. But now all the sincerity and warmth of feelings for one another had disappeared. The people have become selfish. They shake hands merely for the fulfillment of their selfish motives. They shake right hands while their left hands search money in empty pockets. They want to get material benefit from others. Here we have the stanza number 3. Feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and feel at home, once, twice, there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. Dear students, this is stanza number 3. He's saying, feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and feel at home, once, twice, there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. Dear students, in this stanza is saying people invite you round to their homes, making out as if you are important to them. But if you don't measure up socially or your status isn't quite right, you are not invited again. The, the alienation continues. People nowadays are artificial and fickle because of the change in culture. Here, dear students, in stanza number 3, it's a clear message or a clear picture. Poet tells his son that nowadays the people have become very selfish. They are not as hospitable as they pretend to be. The host tells his guest that he is ever welcome to his house. He invites him and asks him to feel at ease and at home with him. He also asks him to come to his house again and again, considering his house as his own. When the guest goes there for the first time, he is given a warm welcome. On his second visit, he is again given a welcome. But on the third visit, the host shuts his door upon him. He is his is no more welcome. So people invite you around their homes. This is stanza number 3, dear students. Making out is you are important. Stanza number 4, dear students. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces, like dresses, home face, office face, street face, host face, with all their confirming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Dear students, in stanza 4, the poet is telling his son that, dear son, I have learned many things, and even I have learned to wear many faces. And he even telling us the names of the faces like dresses, like home face, office face, street face, host face, with all their confirming smiles like a fixed. In explanation, dear students, the first three stanzas outline the speaker's perception of changing culture and attitudes and values in his country. This fourth stanza describes how the speaker himself had to change and learn in order to comply. He uses a comparison faces to dresses to highlight the various persons he took on, all the while smiling. The, the repeated use of face affixed to various places and situations is highly visual. Now, dear students, I think you are well aware about the stanza 4, what the meaning of the stanza 4 is there. The poet addresses his son and tells him that he has learned a lot from the selfish attitudes of the modern man. He tells him that he has learned to assume different kinds of expressions in different kinds of situations in life. Like the other people of his age, he has learned to use all kinds of disguises. He changed his attitude like dress according to different occasions in life. His attitude towards people at home, in the office, in the street, and as a host changed according to the types of the people he meets. He smiles with them as they smile, but with no warmth, no affection of feelings like a lifeless state. Stanza number 5, dear students, on page number 263. And I have learned too to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. In stanza 5, it's a reality, I think, that today people have just words to say that nice to meet you, even you don't feel any kind of goodness or love. Or sometimes they say that goodbye, but they don't have such affection and feeling. He also has become adept at the heartless handshake and hollow toothy smile. Plus, he knows how to deceive people with his farewells and welcomes and false politeness. Basically, he is saying that he has become an integral part of this new culture. Integral. It's been quite an education for him. In stanza 5, dear students, these lines, the poet tells his son that nowadays the people have become very selfish. They are not as hospitable as they pretend to be. And also the poet addresses his son and tells him that like the materialistic people, he has also learned to laugh artificially with the people without having any real feelings of goodwill and warmth for them. At the time of parting with the people, he says goodbye to them. But in his heart, he is pleased to get rid of them. In the same manner, when he meets people, he apparently says welcome to them, but in fact, he has to meet them. He tells them formally that he is glad to meet them, but actually, he is bored to see them. Here we have stanza number 6, dear students. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be. When I was like you, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. This is a very important, dear student, the stanza number 6. He's trying to say that, but believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be. When I was like you, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh from a laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. But he is not happy, dear students, being a conformist. He wants to regain a former innocence the young star still holds. He wants no part of this new culture and all these muting things. That word muting means to deaden in this context. Deaden means that someone is dead. What he wants most is to be able to laugh in innocence again. He likens himself to a snake. His teeth hold something toxic, even dangerous. Dear students, in these lines, the poet addresses his son by telling him that he has really a keen desire to get rid of unwanted behavior of the present day people. He wants to become what he used to be in his childhood, like him. He desires to forget about all the unexpressed bad things for the present day people. He tells his son that he wants to learn once again how he used to laugh in his youth. He is not satisfied with his present way of laughing, which is no more than showing teeth like the pointed hollow teeth of a snake. It means that apparently he laughs with people, but really he is full of venom of malice of them. And the second stanza, a second last stanza of Unit 7, dear students. So how show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Now here in this stanza, the father is asking from his son that, show me how to laugh, my son. Show me how I used to laugh and smile. Because the kids are the children always laugh with their core of heart, with their soul, with their feelings. Same he is saying, he comes clean. He wants the son to show him how to regain his this lost innocence. How to laugh and smile like in the old days when he was young and carefree, and the culture encouraged opens and honesty, a pure identity. Now, dear students, in these lines, the poet addresses his innocent son and asks him to show him how to laugh from the core of his heart. The poet does not like the selfish and artificial attitude of the present day people. He wants to smile and laugh as he used to laugh and smile in the past when he was a child. So, dear students, this was the last stanza in the unit 7. We learned that in the last stanza, the poet is just saying to his son that I wanted to get rid from the today's culture, new culture, and I wanted to go back to my past culture or as I had in childhood. So learn me, show me how to laugh and how to smile with the core of heart, not with the just apparently. So this was the stanzas totally, and I, dear students, I tried to explain all stanzas one by one, and I tried my level best. Hope so you understood about the things. Even if you have any query, any problem, you can ask me on Zoom section, a question answer session. Dear students, here we have the understanding the poem, and it's on page number 265. You can see on your book. This poem is a beautiful comparison of what used to be like in the old days and what it is like now. The title clearly indicates that it is about the past. The first three stanzas compare a way of life, a custom or behavior from the past with those of the present. The first stanza compares how people laughed in the past and how they laugh now. What is the difference? The second stanza tells us how people shook hands then and how they do now. What is the difference? And the third stanza talks about the ever welcoming nature of the people of the past with the less welcoming behavior of present people. The next two stanzas are about what the people has learned. In the fourth stanza, the poet tells us he has learned the ways of the present day people. That is, to wear different faces on different occasions to deceive others. What does wearing different faces mean, dear students? Will you explain? In the fifth stanza, the poet says that his greetings don't mean what they should mean. And the last two stanza, the poet wishes to be what he used to be. The sixth stanza, the poet wishes to be what he was like before, once upon a time. And the last stanza, he asks his son to help him become what he used to be, to show him how to laugh. So, dear students, in the first three stanzas, we have a comparison of a life, of a custom, of our behavior of the past and present. And the two stanzas number, they have the poet is going to be what he learned from the new culture. And the last two stanza, he is saying to his son that, "Well, learn me. I wanted to be go to my back, a childhood uh, way, our childhood, uh, how the children are very uh, clear, pure from their inner side, and they always meet and smile with soul. So I wanted to be learn that kind of attitude which children does or have. So why is the poet addressing his son throughout? What is the significance, these students? And I think after the understanding of the poem, you will be very much able to write the explanation in your own words. So you must write and send it to me. I will check it and will let you know how much you have written appropriate. The theme and central idea, dear students, the poem has mixed feelings of childhood, regret, and innocence. The child in the poem is a symbol of innocence, purity, enthusiasm, happiness, and genuineness lacking in society. The child represents the group of people who have not been affected by Western culture and are bored by their own culture. The poet, struck by a sense of self-loathing and regret, turns to his son in his time of need and asks him to help him unlearn whatever he has learned and help him regain his childlike innocence. So, dear students, in this poem, the central idea or summary in this poem, the poet compares the sincerity and truthfulness of the past with the today's and hypocrisy and materialism of the present age. He says that the people were very much sincere and loving in the past. Whenever they meet each other, they used to shake hands with a lot of sincerity and love for each other. The poet says that the people have become hypocrite and materialistic in the modern age. They do not have love for each other at all. They want to accumulate more and more wealth. The poet says that he has also become a hypocrite due to the effect of his modern age. He behaves differently with different people. He does not feel any love for the other people, but he wants to unlearn all these bad habits. He wanted to get rid from all these bad habits. The poet hates hypocrisy and wants to become a sincere person, just like his little son or when he himself was a little boy like him. So, dear students, in this poem, the poetic devices are used. One of the poetic devices used a metaphor. The poet says that people's eyes are as cold as ice. So this means that there is a no warmth or real feeling in the words of the say and how they behave. That this metaphor literally allows you to visualize a block of ice cold or unwelcoming. So, dear students, this is all about today's lecture, and hope so you understood the things very well. Even if you have any query, any problem regarding the uh, poem, central idea, or explanation, you are free to ask on Zoom session. And I'm available over there. This, as I told you, dear students. And in this, again, in the last there, innocence is a fading aspect in the man society. People always appear deceitful and cunning. The child, however, is a picture of innocence and acts without any malice or ulterior motive. The man wishes to gain his innocence from his son, though he fails to realize that innocence is not learned, a state of mind. Once it is lost, it is gone forever. So here he's saying that children are innocent. They don't have such kind of hypocrisy. They don't have such kind of showing attitude. They always, whatever the action they are doing with the love and core of heart, with the feelings. So he's saying that I'm fed up of today's culture to just laugh with apparently laughing, but he wants to laugh with the core of heart. He wants to smile with the core of heart. He wants to handshake with the core of heart. So he is in way to get rid from today's culture. So he wanted to adopt a way of a children that how they are meeting and doing whatever the action with the love and enthusiasm and with love and affection. So this is all about today's dear students, today's lecture. And as I told you that the notes are available at accounts office. You can go and get the notes of class second year, and completely and comprehensive notes are there. And if you have any problem, you can ask. Thank you for joining, and see you in coming lecture with a paper pattern and distribution of numbers, and one question which is about to find out the mistakes in the passage, grammar mistakes. We will learn how to handle this. See you in coming lecture. Till that, Allah Hafiz.